Sometimes we convince ourselves that our life is complete just because it appears perfect in the eyes of others. But deep down, I knew something was missing. My name is Elena. I'm 42 years old, and at first glance, my life might seem perfect. A stable job as a marketing manager, an elegant house, a caring husband, Luca. Yet inside me, something was missing. The daily routine had turned into monotony. The love that once warmed the heart seemed to have lost its enchantment. Every morning I woke up knowing exactly what awaited me. But then, one day, something changed. It was a chaotic morning, late for a meeting and stuck in choking city traffic. Impatience grew within me until, overcome with frustration, I decided to get out of the car and take a shortcut on foot through a little-used alley. It was there that I saw him. Sitting on the sidewalk, a worn backpack beside him, a scruffy-looking man observed the world with an unusual intensity. His long, disheveled hair and rumpled clothes made him appear homeless. Yet something inexplicable shone in his eyes, a particular glow, as if he held a secret that the rest of the world ignored. His words hit me suddenly, almost a call impossible to ignore. I felt surprised and perhaps annoyed, but also inexplicably attracted by that unexpected presence. Instead of leaving, I found myself sitting next to him. His name was Matteo. He didn't have a house or a bank account, yet he talked about life as if it were a priceless gift. He had traveled the world, had incredible experiences, and every day was a discovery for him. My curiosity grew. How could he live without certainties? Where did he find refuge? How could he be happy in the midst of so much precariousness? Without realizing it, time slipped away. My meeting was now lost, but the feeling of freedom and lightness I felt at that moment made it an irrelevant detail. When I got up to leave, Matteo gave me a confident look, as if he knew it wouldn't be the last time we'd see each other. In the following days, the thought of that meeting never left me. I tried to convince myself that it had just been an out-of-the-ordinary conversation, but the truth was that I felt alive in a way I hadn't in a long time. Luca noticed my distraction, but attributed it all to work stress. He had no idea what was stirring inside me. It wasn't work that was the problem. It was my orderly, predictable existence that was suffocating me. A week later, unable to resist, I returned to that alley. Matteo was there, as if he was waiting for me. We spent hours walking together as he told me stories of distant places, incredible people, and lives lived without strings attached. Every word took me further and further from my reality and closer to him. I didn't go home that evening. He took me to a park on the edge of the city, to a quiet corner where he often found shelter. Lying on the grass, I looked at the starry sky above us and realized how much I had stopped paying attention to the little wonders of life. Matteo instead seemed to feed on them, finding beauty even in the simplest things. That night, even without any physical contact, I felt closer to him than I had felt with Luca in recent years. We talked until dawn, and for the first time in a long time I felt at peace. At dawn, reality returned to claim me. Guilt enveloped me. What was I doing? I had a husband, a house, a life built with effort. Yet Matteo had become a fixed thought. After that night under the stars, everything changed. I returned home, still immersed in the enchantment of the previous evening. Luca slept unaware of the emotional storm that was shaking me. From that day, I began to see Matteo more and more often, without telling anyone. I told Luca about meetings out of town, about work commitments that went on longer than expected. He trusted me, maybe too much. With Matteo, there were no rules, no role to respect, only the present moment, free from any constraints. One day, while we were walking along the river, Matteo made me an unexpected proposal, leaving everything, leaving aimlessly, abandoning my old life. For a moment, the temptation was overwhelming. The idea of leaving the weight of responsibilities behind me seemed like a dream. But then rationality imposed itself like a cold wave. I had a marriage, a job, a carefully constructed life. Yet just contemplating that possibility made me tremble. It was a thought I never thought I would have, and that scared me more than anything else. As the days passed, Luca began to notice the change in me. Always a confident and calm man, he began to sense that something was slipping away from him. During a dinner, his gaze became more attentive. He tried to peer behind my detached expression. He asked me if everything was okay, if there was something I wasn't telling him. I tried to play it down with a nervous smile, attributing my distraction to work stress. He nodded, but I saw doubt in his eyes. He understood that something in M